All right, the second video getting ready for the 2024 PDC ranking tournament starting tomorrow with the 35 new tour card holders. Some of them are returning card holders, but we'll go through the list and who I think is going to do well, who I'm looking forward to, who I don't think has a chance and unlikely to keep their card in 2 years, and then they'll be on my video next year about people not keeping their card, and then a couple people I have no idea about. So I've been keeping stats for, I don't know, since 2022 for full years. So anyone who's played legs this year, I can share with you. I have had track stats for, was it 49,000? This is 2023. Yeah. So I've taken a look at 49,640 legs of darts played. And taking a look at rankings, and again, I can get into all the stats that I'd like to get into. What I'd love to see is the stats change from 140 pluses to 2 triple visits, because 134s get scored 100 plus on my list. And in all fairness, that's much different. 100 is different than a 134, and just like a 95 doesn't, or 97 doesn't get on my list, but how 97 to 100. So I'd love the PDC to switch it from 3 triple visits, 2 triple visits, 1 triple visit, instead of the 100 plus, 140 plus, 180 or 180s. Now, I will say this, the European Tour has been trying this, which is great. And even on the Dart Connect, they've got 100 plus, 120 plus, 160 plus. So you can try to tie into those events as well. However, every other event, the big TV events, you don't have it set up that way. So for consistency, I've just kept it as it is, although I'm keeping another sheet for when I see the Europeans and when I see the other ones for the double visits, and maybe that'll, players like Matters Razma and Michael Van Gerwen, I don't think get enough credit for hitting the triple 19 as much as they do. But let's get into the new tour holders and how I think I'm going to do. I'm going to go through the list. I'm going to go through quickly because if I talk about everyone consistently, we'll be here for like an hour. I don't want that to happen. So first up, Wessel Nijman. I'm looking forward to him. 17 legs that he played this year in World Championship. He scored well, he doubled well. He had the betting scandal against him, but young guy, looking forward to seeing him. Nathan Rafferty, we've seen him before. He's back. He's only back because Luke Littler went past the top 64. That's why he got in and didn't need to go to tour school or to Q school. 117 in doubles, 105 in scoring. It's tough to think he's going to keep his tour card. However, still young. We've got the Aspinall effect that might be there. Seen him play well on the TV. So I'm going to put looking forward to in Rafferty. Next one, Barry Van Peer, was a tour card holder, had the dartitis, left the tour, but came back, had a really great beginning of last year on the Challenge Tour. Played a ton of legs. He played 373 legs with the PDC, and he was 58 in double percentage, 43rd in 140 pluses. You got to like him to at least try to keep his tour card. So I'm looking forward to seeing him and seeing how he keeps going, plus another young guy. Next up, Owen Bates. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to keep his tour card. 136 in doubles last year, 33rd in scoring. So if he can improve his doubles, he might be able to make it. But 136 in doubles, that's not going to get you anywhere. 474 legs, so it's enough legs to say, hey, you got it or you don't got it. He was on the edge for me for looking forward to, because again, another young guy, but unfortunately, they got rid of his nickname Master. Anyways, next one up, Steve Lennon. He had his tour card, got it back. I could care less about Steve Lennon. I think he's not going to keep his tour card. I've seen enough of him to know that man can't hit a double when the pressure's on, and he's never been able to. Watch it. In the World Championship, he went 18 for 80 in doubles. I mean, how bad is that? That's as bad as me. Bad. So, while he might be able to get some floor tournament money, he is not going to do anything on the TV, and therefore he will not be able to keep his tour card. Next one up, Robert Grundy. Again, I struggled with this one, but I put him on unlikely to keep his tour card. He played 216 legs. Again, at the end of the day, that's a lot. 108 on doubles, 106 in scoring. You're going to get beat in the PDC. Depending on your draws, you're going to get beat. I don't think you're going to have enough to average 36,000 a year. So unlikely to keep his tour card. Leighton Bennett, I'm looking forward to. Don't have a lot of stats on Leighton. I did have some stuff from 2022 where he played. Again, I'm going to use this as, he was the one guy I saw play Phil Power at a castle or something during COVID. It was one of the YouTube videos that I first watched. He played 3 games in 2022 and lost 2 of them. Doubles wasn't the greatest. His scoring was pretty good. But again, a young guy who's going to offer a lot of energy. Watched him play. He's fast. You know, it's kind of like, could you just hope for a Leighton Bennett, Luke Littler rivalry? Well, that's what we're hoping for. So I'm actually looking forward to Leighton Bennett playing. Dom Taylor was another one that I kind of looked at. He had a great run last year to, I believe it was the semifinals. Tall guy, really tall. Struck me as like really tall. You know, he won 57% of his legs. So he played 231 legs, won 57% of them. So for me, you know, 23rd in doubles. His scoring wasn't the greatest, but the doubles will help you out. And so I've got Dom Taylor looking forward to. Matthew Dennett, I'm looking forward to. I don't have less stats on Matthew Dennett from last year. But what I saw is a solid player. Every single, you know, I mean, he's not a tall dude. But every time I've seen him play on like online darts or Modus darts, really, he's played well. I've been very impressed with his throw. I've been very impressed with how he plays. So I'm looking forward to watching him play. William Borland, the 9-darter from 2 years ago, World Darts Championships. Can't score and he can't hit doubles. So I am not looking forward to watching William Borland. He's a fast player. Yes, he hit the 9-darter, but I mean, he should have been out in the first round of qualifying school. He barely got in. And then he had some nice runs on those days, but he's played in the tours before. What was his? He was the worst scorer in 2022 when he was on tour. He was 31% on his doubles. Last year, he was 15% on his doubles when he played with the PDC. Not interested, unlikely to keep his tour card. Next one up, Josh Richardson. His dad was obviously kind of famous for nearly losing to Mikuro Suzuki, the first woman player to nearly win. Josh Richardson's little bulldog. I like watching him play. James Richardson. He plays in the Modus series. I've seen Joshua in the World Series. I mean, I think Joshua had a great run to the last day to try to get his tour card. Again, I think it's unlikely to keep his tour card. Next one up, James Hurrell. Took a look at his stats. He played 143 legs last year, 103rd in doubles, 108th in scoring, 140 pluses, which means to me unlikely to keep his tour card. George Killington. I really don't like watching George Killington play. If anyone remembers, Scott Waits, it's a 9-darter, and he looks like his dad. Just like, he doesn't even cheer for the guy. Like, what kind of guy? The guy hits a 9-darter in front of you and you're not happy for him. I mean, you're a piece of garbage. Not much to say. I don't think he's got the greatest personality I've ever seen. Obviously, and his stats back up his inability to cheer for 9-darters, because he doesn't have a chance of ever hitting one when you're 127th in doubles and 130th or 133rd, 140 pluses, and that's a full year on tour. So George Killington, see you later. Danny Lauby, again, I'm biased. I'm looking forward to Danny Lauby. North American content, fantastic. We've got 3 North American content. I'll be watching Danny Lauby. Danny Lauby's he's an interesting watch. He's very fast, and when he's good, he's damn good, and when he's bad, he's damn bad. So there's no consistency with him. But if he's good for, you know, a day, that gets him a quarterfinal, semifinal run. I think he even had like a round of 16 run last year on the PDC tour. If I take a look at his stats, he was 122nd on doubles, but 69th on scoring. You know, he had 125 legs, but he won over 50% of those legs. So again, he's going to have a run. He's going to have you get him on a good spurt, he could have a hell of a day. So I think he's got enough to keep his tour card, and I'm certainly looking forward to watching him. Reese Griffin, I've got no stats on Reese Griffin. I think I've seen him on Modus Super Series a little bit. Maybe I might be getting my Reese's wrong. I know there's a lot of Reese, but I don't know him, so nothing I can say here. Brett Clayton, when he was last on tour, he won 10,750 in the year, which means he is unlikely to keep his tour card. He only won 25% of his matches, 40% of his legs, 174th in doubles, 160th in scoring. How in the world did this guy qualify again? He did, and I don't expect to see him in a couple years. Darren Beverages, or sorry, I don't really know the guy. He had one game in 2022 that I had on my stats, and he lost the game. I don't have a lot of stuff on Darren Beveridge, so I don't know. So leave it at that. Adam Hunt, I can't believe he got his tour card just on the stats, and I watched him play in the Modus series, and it wasn't good as well. He's had some great games, and he was a player that I was kind of looking forward to 2021, 2022, but he's certainly fallen off the map. He only won 12% of his games his last time he was on tour, 34% of his legs. He was 181 in doubles and 184th in scoring. Unlikely to keep his tour card, and he basically won somehow by winning one of the legs at the end to qualify, one of the last qualifiers. I don't think he'll be keeping his tour card. Martin Drack. So now we're going to the European side. I'm looking forward to. He played 6 games last year. He was 53rd in doubles percentage, 119th scoring. So there's only 54 legs there, but saw him on the European tour. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him play. Yellow Clausen, I think it's unlikely to keep his tour card. We're talking about a semifinals, world champion semifinals, and back in the BDO, world champion. He's a damn good player. He's been in the Premier League. But again, he had the wrist injury that started this, and then his throw has kind of changed a little bit. But if I take a look at his stats last year, he played in 157 legs. He was 137th in doubles and 149th in scoring. That's going to mean that you're unlikely to keep your tour card. Andy Baetens, this is the guy I'm really looking forward to. So you've got, obviously there's Luke Littler. I'll get into Luke Littler in a sec. But Andy Baetens is the next one. World WDF champion. If you look at his stats, they're insane. Now, granted, he didn't play a lot of legs, but he was basically over 50% in his doubles. And even in 2022, he scored 2.51 plus scores a leg. When I've watched him play, he's really consistent. This is a guy I think can do some damage. I see him as joining Dimitri Vandenberg in 2 years in the World Cup for Belgium. That's how highly I think of this player, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does. Probably on the entire list, maybe you take Leighton Bennett, obviously Luke Littler. Andy Baetens might be third on who I want to see. So it'll be interesting to see him on the tour. Jeffrey DeGraff, I waddled on this one a little bit. He was a tour card holder. He lost his tour card, and apparently he became Swedish. When he became Swedish, he started qualifying for some European tours, so we got to see him a little bit. And again, if you take a look, he was 67th in double percentage, 44th in 140 pluses, so that's pretty good stats there. 88 legs, of course, but he's been there before and lost his tour card. So what makes me think he's going to keep his tour card this year? I was on the fence of which way to go with him, but I put looking forward to it. Maybe it'll be a different time around this time. Let's see how he does. Hupai Puha, really exciting to see a New Zealander on there. So if he first New Zealander to be on there, there's also the first Italian. But if you had the rank, if he's going to keep his tour card in 2 years, I highly doubt it. It's very challenging for players to be playing away from home, as we've seen. And if you're going to be going back and then flying back, it's a challenge. I don't know what his play is, but he did play quite a bit of legs last year. He played 49 legs. He was 180th in double percentage and 196 in scoring out of 247 players. So when I say scoring in 140 pluses, it's neat to see a New Zealander on tour. I just think he's going to get taken out to the woodshed quite a bit. Next one up for North American, I guess I got a bias on this one, Jules Van Doggen. Jules Van Doggen was terrible in his first year. He was terrible in the half last year, and all of a sudden the man turned it on. His stats went from 0.6 140 pluses to 0.8. So that means over that time he's actually hit more than one 140 plus per leg. His doubles went up as well. So he just started to turn on the styles. And he also, I think he won 38,000 in ranking money last year. He basically won that in the last half. He didn't win much in the first half. So if he can keep that form going, and it looked like in the qualifying, he had that form going. So let's see how he does. Again, I'm going to put him in the looking forward to. Radek Zagansky, something very similar to Jules Van Doggen. One of the most consistent players on tour. He's 20th in 100 plus scores. He's 72 in double percentage. He won a PDC champion floor tournament last year, and he played half decent. He just had a horrible first year and carries the form over, got his tour card right back. So I'm looking forward to watching more of Radek Zagansky. Next one up, Chris Landman. I struggled on this one because his form was really, really good at the beginning of last year. He's played a lot of games. Chris Landman played only 485 legs in PDC. That's a lot of legs. And in that, he was 98th in doubles and 48th in scoring, so that kind of puts you right on the cusp, right? Had about 27,000 worth of ranking points. I struggled to put him on. Is he going to keep his tour card or not? I'm not a big fan of watching him play. He's kind of weird throw, but can't argue with the stats, so I put Chris Landman and looking forward to. Patrick Guretz, I have no idea, so don't know. Jitsi Vanderwall, unlikely to keep a tour card. I've got 18 legs with him, 24% of his doubles, and basically hits 140 every 2 legs. That ain't going to get you anywhere. So I wish him the best of luck. Paul Crone, I have no idea. So I don't know. So there you go. Benjamin Drew Reese, who's now Benjamin Reese. This one's an interesting one. I remember this guy in the World Cup. I think it was against Austria. He couldn't miss. And then I've seen him play on the Modus series, and then I saw him have a couple good games. He looks like he doesn't have a lot of consistency, so I put unable to keep a tour card. But I am interested in watching him play. Keep someone from Denmark. They lost Vladimir Anderson. They get another player. It's good, I think, for getting the World Game up. Be interesting to see with a full year of playing what that will do to him. I just think this guy can light it up. He's a little bit like Danny Lauby. You can light it up and then just be terrible. So we'll see. You hope he lights it up at the beginning, because I think if he goes on a couple bad runs in the first 4 Players Championship, it might be a long year for him. But I put unlikely to keep tour card, although he was on the cusp. I was looking forward to. Next one up, Mario Vandermingard. Consistent player, just consistent. Unbelievably consistent. Slow player. I'm not a big fan of watching him play. But if you take a look at his stats, he's 54th on double percentage, 34th on 140 pluses, which is great. He won 54,000 last year, so that tells you how bad his first year was. Just lost his tour card, was right on the cusp. I put unlikely to keep his tour card just because he's an older guy. And I think, over time, it's shown that players lose a little bit of the touch. So over a 2 more year span, I wouldn't be shocked if he kept this tour card, but if I were to rank him, I've already seen him play. I know what he is. So I'm not looking forward to watching him play, but I think it's unlikely for him to keep a tour card as well. Lucas Venning, this is a player that I've seen a lot early, and I thought, wow. It was on the European Tour. So Lucas Venning came to me on the European Tours, and then I started watching the German Super League. He's a good player. He can hit the 140s. Now, on the stats this year, I was looking at it. He wasn't very good. He was 103 legs. He didn't have good stats against it. But again, a player that's been improving and improving and improving since the first time I saw him play. So I'm going to put Lucas Venning. I'm looking forward to watching him play. I'm glad he got his tour card. He's been close in the last couple of years, and I know I've been keeping an eye on him after seeing him in the European Tour. So highlights that European Tour. Some of the new players that we might not be able to get to see anymore. See prior video. Thibaut Tricol, I put unlikely to keep a tour card. I've seen enough of Thibaut Tricol to know that he's 135th in doubles, 150th in 140 pluses. He's a good 100 plus hitter. He just doesn't hit the double triples. He hits a lot of single triples. He lost 6% of his 269 legs last year. I think, again, it gives a little bit of flavor. I just don't think he's going to keep his tour card after 2 years. And then 2 players I have no idea about, Michel Torretta and Tim Walters. I don't know anything about them, although Michel Torretta, I guess, is the first Italian player, so that's fantastic. But I have nothing. I got nothing to go against in terms of stats. So that's where I see it now. Let's get into obviously the biggest player that's joining this year, but already is in the top 30 is Luke Littler. This class is completely dominated by what Luke Littler's going to do this year. No one's going to be Luke Littler. But if you take that, Leighton Bennett, Andy Batens are certainly top of the list for me to be able to watch, and that all starts tomorrow. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. I'm going to do another video at the end of the day, which is going to rank my top 5 players to watch and my bottom 5 players, and I use little stats behind it. I used a little bit of, hey, let me score them up as I'm watching them, and then I'll give you my top 5 and the worst 5 players to watch. Cheers.